On this episode of Buff's Garage, I'm here at Pole Barn Garage. We're doing the $2,000 car challenge, and I bought this for 1,500 bucks. But actually, I just bought this one for 1,300. So we got to get this thing running. We got 72 hours to make it run and drive. We got to drive this 200 miles. The rules are very specific, and we got competitors. Kevin from Junkyard Digs, we got Jesse from Atomic Era Motors, and of course, Dalton from Pole Barn Garage. So stay tuned. It's gonna be a good one. All right, so what you're looking at is a 1966 Chevrolet El Camino. These cars came out with a Chevelle style front end and a little bit different doors, and of course the old Ute tail on there. This one's had some issues. Somebody has cut out rust, and on the other side, they've patched the rust with a bunch of, well, some kind of product. It is squishy and falling apart. Like, yeah, that one's already, well, that's gone. It's got some amazing reverse 14-inch chrome wheels on there. It's got flames. And just so you didn't miss it, I was told this had no seat at all, and I get there and this seat's in it. And it's beautiful purple to go with the beautiful purple doors and the lovely chain steering wheel and the giant ball on the shifter, the highly questionable fuzzy dice, and no key or gas pedal. We'll actually visit everybody else in their vehicles along the way. They've already got theirs in the shops because, well, Dalton pulled his in. His does not run. Jesse just drove his in because it does have a hell of a rod knock, but he was able to get the car inside. This one has not been started, at least in a couple of years. Now, I picked this car up for $1,300, talked him down. He wanted almost $2,000 for it. Got him down to $1,500, then when we got there, $1,300. And here it is. I did cheat when I went and got the car. We did go ahead and throw a breaker bar on it just to turn the engine over to make sure it would do this, because we only have 72 hours to make our cars run and drive. They've got to drive for 200 miles. There's a whole set of rules that we'll go over, and they're subject to change because this is Dalton's Pole Barn Garage $2,000 car challenge, and he can just kind of make the rules up as he goes. But this does have a newer 350 combo. It is not the original 327 with the Power Glide. Lift the hood. There you go. You got a giant horn and some kind of small block Chevy that's not a 327. We're going to guess it's a 350. And it looks like it's a TH350 transmission. It's got the chrome valve covers, chrome coil cover. Somebody's updated these with some super stock fancy wires here. Power steering pump, water pump. Even the alternator looks not that old. Check the radiator. And it is dry. Perfect. So lots of things about this car that are kind of questionable, but can I, for less than $2,000 total, get this thing running and driving in 3 days and enter it in a drag race, a burnout contest? We're going for fuel mileage. We're going for burnouts for distance. There's so many different areas that we can gain points, lose points. We're just trying to show that you can go out and buy a car off Marketplace, make it run and drive in just a few days, and go have fun with it. This could be a really nice car, but it's not. This one's pretty bad. You would have to buy a lot of parts to make it good. So rather than tear it all apart and do that, we're just going to make it run and drive and go have fun with it just like it is. So let's go ahead and pop this off and see what we're working with. That surely looks like a Mopar piece, but whatever. All right, that's what you want to find. All right, linkage is not completely froze up. We should probably grab a fuel filter. That one looks questionable. And the fact that it doesn't go into anything, that's probably even worse. Belt's a little loose. That belt looks really old, but not loose. So there's a few things I would normally go ahead and swap out if I was going to drive this car across country, and that is fuel pump, water pump. I would check the spark plug wires, coil, all that kind of stuff. But $2,000 car challenge, we're trying to save every dollar we can. And I just spent $65 on this value battery. Now, how, you ask, is we went in there and we talked to the folks, and that is a $100 battery, but you can sometimes get that same style of battery from Walmart for about $65. And with that, they were willing to go ahead and discount us down to $65. There's no special favors, no trickery. You could also go to your local mechanic or tire shop, tire battery place. They'll sometimes gift you used batteries, reconditioned batteries, that kind of thing. So just shop around. That's what we're gonna do, because we still have to put tires on this thing too. And there's no way I have the budget for this. So I went ahead and bought some brake parts in anticipation that I might need them. They don't count unless I use them. So right now, $1,300 into the car, $65 into the battery. With the brake parts I ordered, aren't here yet, it's another $200. So I'm $1,500 into this car with a $2,000 budget. We're getting close. So let's tear into this and see if we can't make it do something. So most obvious issue is I don't have a key, but this seems oddly suspicious, as well as these switches over here. And since I don't think it has hydraulics, I need to figure out what goes to what and just see if I can get it to start. Well, the fact that the battery tray is literally fallen off, it's fine. Got battery hooked up, nothing's doing anything ridiculous. I already had a rag in the car. That's a good sign. All right, wow, that is new-ish oil. Oh yeah, somebody has just changed the oil in this thing, which just saves me money that I don't have to spend now.
Seems awfully convenient.
This is definitely not the original stuff.
No. You tell me that's not an original Chevy spray paint gun?
No, that's absolutely factory. I've done nothing to it.
It's actually not paint, it's just red RGB sprayed all over the whole thing.
It probably is. Does that do anything? That do anything? No? How about this? That's the horn. Okay. No key switch. But hey, I have a horn. That's pretty cool. How do I get to that ignition switch? That's tough. All right, I'm gonna need some tools. Now, even though tool cost does not factor into this challenge, I went ahead and picked up a set of tools from the store we don't talk about. But I did save about 30-ish, maybe almost 40 bucks off of this set because it's missing 13 millimeter. And since I'm working on an American car, I don't really need the 13 millimeter. Yep, missing the one. Also picked up a few basics. I got spark plug sockets. I got some zip ties. I got some wrenches. I got a straight and a Phillips screwdriver and one pair of pliers. Now, if I have to, I can always borrow something from Dalton or one of the other guys if I need to use it. But my goal here is to do as much as possible with as few tools as I can. Just see how far we go. These guys are struggling a little bit.
All right, now fire it.
All right, so I went ahead and pulled the starter from the hole down to here. We don't have a key to make that work. Now I can try to pull this apart, or I can literally pop this loose, add power to what I need to add power to, and then we've got startage. Well, it tried to do something for a second. Okay, I've got wire going from the battery to the ignition, which won't work because there's no fuel going to it, but I've also got another one jumping to the starter. We can make this work. Oh yeah, that's fine. So I don't know what that was, but that belt's coming apart. This belt needs tightened up, which we can do. Let's see if this even has any power steering fluid, because that might be a problem. Come on. Oh, it's dry. That might have been our squeak. Fluids cost in this challenge, so probably gonna have to get resourceful. All right, this time we put a little gasoline in it. Let's see if that does anything. So we need to figure out our fuel situation, get fuel going into carburetor, and play with it from there. Went ahead and pulled the fuel line back from the tank. There was fuel in the tank. It dripped all over everything. It is not great. So glad we went ahead and unhooked that. It seemed to be pumping, and maybe we can get it to run and idle. Well, I got the bit of hose off, and I'm going to save the clamp. We're trying to do this on a budget. Usually I would just replace these with the clamps I like. And they're running over there, no problem. I found this jug in the back. I'm going to go ahead and put some fuel in that, run a hose down to our fuel pump. Yeah, that should stay. And see if we can't get this thing to pull into the shop, because it's trying to rain. I got a fuel system kind of hooked up here. Got everything hooked back up to the carb. Just see what happens. Fires up. Let's see if it actually is getting fuel. Not sure we're actually pumping fuel, so we'll do some tests, figure that out. Oh yeah. Well, I took the fuel filter off to see if it was pumping. It is pumping.
Hell, is there a filter in the housing?
Probably. I just need it to limp inside.
It sounded awesome. It didn't sound bad at all for.
I know, for sitting as long as it has. Oh yeah, no brakes. Just spinning. It is actively leaking right now.
That thing's great.
Yep. Well, there you go. I got it inside, running off the fuel jug, sitting on the roof. That was an idea from Jesse at Atomic Era Motors, but, you know, gravity draws the fuel down. Even if the pump's weak, which is what we're having here. Pump does work, but it's weak. It's enough gravity to push it up through the pump. Pump does its job, gets it in the carb. The darn thing ran great. Transmission a little sluggish, but I have not even checked the transmission fluid yet. So not unhappy at all. I've got some work to do, but I've got a couple days to get it done. All right, the smart thing to do is to go through this carburetor, but I'm not smart, not gonna do that. Everything else kind of worked. I've got a leak here at this fuel filter. Quite honestly, I'm pretty sure that fuel pump's not gonna last. So first thing I wanna do is go ahead and take the fitting off of the carb, not replacing the carb, not even touching it other than this, and just see if that's got a little filter in there and it's plugged up. Yeah, I got fuel coming out the in, but not the out. So we're going to say it's plugged up. And it's really old, so it doesn't really matter. I'm putting a new one in it anyway. I'm just blowing the budget on this thing. All right, pulling out of the carb. We've got a very old filter. And I think it still works, but it's pretty dirty. And I don't want to deal with it, so throw that away. Put this back.
How goes?
It's going.
That's good.
I'm just eliminating all the restrictions. You know, fuel, filter, grab.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, yeah.
I was like, but there's a quadrijet on it. What do you mean?
It got in here. It'll make it. Doesn't have to be good.
So that making about 3 horsepower.
How's that go? It's got to be different, right?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be fixed.
Yeah. All right, I'm not convinced I need a fuel pump. I think logic would say go ahead and throw one in, but again, trying to save money here. So I have a locking gas cap, no keys. So we're going to just pry until it comes out. Perfect. Assuming it then comes off. Ah, son of a... My goodness, this old fuel smells horrible. Well, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I had to pull the filler neck out because that locking gas cap broke, disintegrated in fact, and fell down into the actual filler neck, which is just fine. It's only plugging it up. Now for this, I could just use a fuel jug and run it up there to the front, and that would probably be okay. Generally, fuel jug is part of your tools, unless it's used as your fuel tank, and then it becomes an expense. Fuel jugs aren't cheap. If I can fix this for cheap, even if it takes me a few minutes, I'll be better off in the long run. Finally, I fought that one for quite a while. And yeah, this is going to be fun. Thankfully, the hose did not disintegrate, but the clamp did. So I got to get another clamp. And some bolts. Oh, wait, there's one. Might actually be the right size. It's for a radiator hose, but hose is a hose, right? Literal chunks of the inside of this falling out. But it's back in there. And it should, in theory, fill with fuel. I was told that we would be able to use as much motor per as we wanted. That's considered free for this particular challenge. Hashtag sponsored, not sponsored, meaning he doesn't know that we're using it for free in our challenge. So thanks, motor per. So I'm going to grab some of that. We're going to throw some fuel in this tank and just see what happens. All right, with that wrapped up, now I want to see if we're actually pumping fuel from the tank. It smells bad, but that doesn't mean there's fuel in it. So we're going to throw some fuel in the tank. Might not be the smartest idea, but it's the one we got. Need to run to the gas station and get some more. For good measure, let's go ahead and throw some motor per tune-up right into the tank. Now I want to see if this fuel pump is pumping, and if so, what is it pumping out? So I've got this fuel line hooked to my fuel pump. We're going to just put that in this bottle right here. Wedge it and just see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and try to blow backwards and see if we can't get something moving in the right direction here.
Day, 23 hours left.
All right, back this morning. I had to run and get some parts. But last night, whenever I started shutting things down, I was digging in to figure out why we're not getting fuel from the tank all the way up to the pump. And I'm not so sure it wasn't just the pump. I think we need a new fuel pump, so I went ahead and picked one up. I'm going to try again to get this fuel pump to come back to life. So today I'm sporting my I Heart Drum Brake shirt from Junkyard Digs because we have drum brakes on the car, and I'm going to have to dig in and get those functioning and working again. And I also need to go find some tires because they don't hold air very long. The reason why I didn't stay up all night getting this thing running was I had a friend in need. So Jesse over there had to put a whole new engine in his car, and you're going to have to go watch Atomic Era Motors to see how that turned out. Well, let's get back on this. Okay, fuel pump's pumping from the tank. It looks horrible, but we don't really have the option to do anything else, so we're gonna run it. Budget's tight. let's just hook it up and let it run on really bad gas. I will say it's going through a filter though, so at least particulates are going to get caught before it even hits the pump, let alone carburetor. Oh yeah, I just remembered, part of the reason why it's red, we dumped a whole bottle of motor purr in there, and there's only about 5 gallons of gas, so it does smell horrible, but that's not the motor purr. That's the varnished gas that's been sitting in that tank for a while. Yeah, it'll eat. It'll work its way through the system, and eventually we will have nice, clean running fuel. And the motor purr will actually go in there, clean things up. It'll swell up seals and kind of get things working again like it's supposed to. Worst case scenario, we clog up a fuel line, or we have to swap the fuel pump, which I did not do. I have it. It's in the box. So technically, if I don't use it, it doesn't count against me. But having it with me will make sure I don't exceed the 2 hours if I'm broke down on the side of the road. I gotta get this alternator realigned because it was hitting the bracket. It just misaligned completely. So I'm gonna realign that, get the belt back on it. I don't think I'm gonna touch the power steering belt. It currently is trying to fall apart, but it's there and it's working. So let's leave it alone. Well, that's a new development. Well, it wasn't even clamped on there. This side's good. You know what? I'm not going to do anything except tighten the clamp because it was just not tight. This is budget, guys. I'm not trying to hunt out things that aren't a problem. I couldn't find a coolant jug or water bottle of any kind, so I found this empty Captain Morgan's bottle. Not sure where that came from. Nothing on the stick. Went ahead and got the cheapest transmission fluid I could get. And we have none on the stick, so we're just gonna add, well, all of it. It's a little smoky. We're gonna put a little bit of motor purr in the actual oil, really help clean it up. Seem to be doing fine now. Well, that's an unexpected treat, having the headlights work. Cool. Let's check the taillights. Well, that one worked for a minute. Alternator's working. Let's Test, test. What I really want to do is take it out and test it, really run it through its paces, but I can't do that without brakes. Now, whether or not I need a master cylinder is yet to be proven, but there is brake fluid in it, I think. Just a hint. Not a lot, though. So I've got a little bit of motor per left. Let's drop a little bit of that in there. Now I went ahead and ordered another master because it's a single pot, and you know, it's a safety thing. But this is the $2,000 car challenge. So when you look at replacing all those parts, that's a couple $100. Wheel cylinder's probably going to leak, but will they hold well enough to stop the car? And we're talking all four. I mean, I'm not going to halfway do it. It's coming back. Well, it did suck it down a little bit. Let's go ahead and pop these wheels off. Take a look. Man, they lowered this car a lot. That was in there. It's not the worst grease I've ever seen, but it's been a minute. And the goal here is to save as much money as possible, so let's try to save this cotter pin. All right, save you. Yeah, brakes are a little snug. Yeah, definitely needs more grease. Now earlier I purchased a whole tub of grease, and that's community property. So not sure how much we deduct for that, because it was only like 8 something for the whole tub, and everyone has access to use it for free. Oh, little buddy. Yeah, that bearing is just fine. That'll save us some bucks. Brakes are just stuck. I don't see anything major here. Shoes look good. Wheel cylinder doesn't seem to have a major problem. Even the hose looks good. I bought all new stuff, but let's see if we can get this to come around. Well, I wanted to go ahead and pull this wheel off just to take a look. And in the process, I ended up getting a stripped lug nut to the point I can't get it off. Now I'm probably going to have to get some heat or even a cutoff wheel, something in there to get that off. But one more hiccup in the $2,000 car challenge. Well, I've attempted to bash on a smaller socket. I've tried breaker bar, I've tried the impact. It's stuck on there and doesn't want to come off, so we're just going to stop asking. Alright, things have escalated. It's not coming off. I could keep hacking this up, but I'm cutting into the rim as well, which I honestly don't care that much about, but if I can prevent that, I will. Oh, that didn't even have... Oh, no, it's there. There's the flat washer. Okay. We'll just do it like that. I mean, I got to get the wheel off because I got to get a tire on it, but we'll figure it out later. Let's get these things working first. Again, shoes look great. Grease doesn't look that old. All the hardware's there. I think we just hit everything with some PB Blaster. Try to bleed it and go from there. All right, I topped off that master and been pumping the crap out of it. And earlier it gave me just a little bit of hope that it was going to come back to life, but I just tried it again and it doesn't seem to be doing much. And of course, this is not a desert car, so the old flare nut does not want to come off. I'll use some locking pliers here. See if we can't get it to move. Yeah, not a good sign. There we go. Yeah, it's not doing anything. All right, looking at my receipt, I got this master cylinder new off the shelf for $46.84. I also picked up wheel cylinders, but I don't know if I'm going to need them yet. Let's get some fluid pumping and decide that. Yeah, looks the same. Here we go. You know, all in all, it doesn't look that bad. Doesn't really do the pumpy thing, though. All right, no more bubbles. All right, reinstalled. Let's see what happens. I have a pedal. All right, I got to get this lug nut off and get this wheel back in service because I'm about to put these brakes back together. Anything look alarming?
Well, aside from your brake hose on this side.
Yeah, I see that. I do have a new one.
Well, that would be good to put on.
Yes. Trying to get creative here. I doubt this works, but we're going to try it. It is, in fact, cutting a hole. Finally. Done. Well, as Angus pointed out, this brake hose definitely has lived a better life. The one on the driver's side looks fine. So I went ahead and got a new brake hose. So there's another like 13 bucks, almost 14 bucks we've got to attribute to the list here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and reuse this wheel. I've kind of disguised that to not show the missing lug. And that's okay, but these tires are not going to work. So we were going to go to Pick and Pull and get tires, but the day has gotten away from us. And I'm not sure if we're going to still be able to go tomorrow. I happen to know that Dalton has a set of 14s. Those are 14-inch wheels. I happen to know he's not going to use them. I'll probably negotiate the price, but I'll do it after they're already on the wheels. And we'll see if we can't get them really cheap. Here they are. They're not that old. He said they were from 2013. And they held air. They have tread. So that meets all my criteria. I think we're just going to do it and ask for forgiveness later and hope it doesn't put us over the budget. Now I understand as part of this challenge, not everybody has a tire machine like Dalton does, but this is an absolute pile of tire machine that he got off Marketplace for like $100. And you can't even break down a bead with this thing. It will serve to remove the tire from the rim, but he went online. I think Amazon, even TikTok Shop has this bead buster. It is the XB450i. And I know I've seen this on TikTok. I'm sure you can get it off Amazon. I don't know how much it is, but we're going to test it to see if we can't break down our tire. First thing I did was make sure there's no air in it. It was already flat, but we need these things all lined up. Yeah, it looks like a little spiky shovel. This is protected, so I assume that's going to touch our rim here. Yeah, that looks like it fits just like that. I'm going to use a 3/4 inch socket on my impact. There we go. It clamps it to the rim, okay? But our bead is not broken yet, so we're going to use this 3/4 right onto there. It did take a couple of tries, but I did get the bead off the rim, which was the whole point. We now got to get our tire off the rim, so we have to tighten this thing down so that it holds the rim in place. And then this does all the work with this tool. You need to push that down so that it gets into the inset of the rim. This will grab and lift the other side up and over, and then power. And this is what I'm talking about. This is not the highest quality tire machine. This should just come right off. You can do this with a set of spoons off of Amazon. There it goes. You just have to help it through the hard part. It's a very old, worn out machine. So here's the Hercules HP 4000 that I found. Dalton mentioned one of them has a flat spot, so we're going to put that tire on the back right. And the rest of them, we're just going to wing it and go for it. They don't look like they're in bad shape. They're just, you can tell they've sat. We're just going to go for it. The key here is we got to put that on there and then get that tire on that wheel good as we can. And then, come on, baby. You got this. Help it out a little bit. All right. We are winning at this point. And be careful not to rip your bead. That part's kind of important. Man, this machine is so tired. He has a cheetah, so we're going to use it. So first thing we got to do is fill up the cheetah. This machine has the ability over here to bead blast, but it doesn't work. So we use the cheetah. We get it filled up to about, 60-ish PSI. 80. 80's good. We don't need a lot. We have it ready to go. Now we take this handy dandy little dude that he has made out of zip ties, and it hooks onto your valve stem. You put your cheetah on here. Boom. Done. It has just seated the bead. Get your core tool. And we got ourselves a tire. Well, while I had it up in the air, I decided to go ahead and take a look at this differential. And, you know, this exhaust isn't bad. I went ahead and topped this off. It took most of that jug to fill it up, but seems to be okay now. Wait, that exhaust is not great. It's got a big hole in it. Well, so does, holy cow, so does the floor. So does that. So does the frame. That is light shining through the frame. I think at this point we're going to just stop looking under here because it is not great. It's a 66 El Camino, but it needs a frame. It needs a body. It needs a hood. It needs a lot. So let's just get out of here and stop looking. Been scavenging for lug nuts, trying to make sure I had at least 4 on each wheel. And this would be a great time to call lugnutguys.com, but they're not approved as part of this challenge. However, if I needed to get quality lug nuts at a good price and get them quickly, I would go to lugnutguys.com.
Look at it, just hogging fuel. He's got one brake. He missed the corn dog checkpoint. That's points off. I'm pretty sure someone yelled, "Get your corn dog and go." Oh my God.
But hey, you got those range white letter tires.
Hell yeah. The air behind that car is more white than the car.
Did somebody mess with his plug wires?
No. Maybe him, but self-sabotage. This is not against the rules.
I sold this cat.
Wait,
They found the rev limiter that doesn't exist.
you stole the cap off Buff's car?
Yeah.
So
Give it to Jesse.
he's just riding around with no radiator
I don't know,
cap?
maybe he felt.
Boy, that stinks. Holy shit.
What a piece of shit. I'm not driving behind that
Yeah, it's gonna be a race the whole time.
to get in front of.
We got ourselves a smoker. Well, back again this morning. The car is decent enough that I could throw it together in a few hours. Yeah, it's not running on all 8 and it smokes really bad. Although I did put that motor purr in the oil, which may be part of that. And so far, radiator, cooling system, all that's holding. Speaking of holding, I need to figure out a way to hold that battery down so it doesn't just fly out of the car. Got the new tires on there. Went through and checked the brakes. I do need to bleed them all because I've got one really good brake and the rest of them don't work right. Well, they work, but not as good as that one. So need to figure that out. And today I'm supposed to go pick up an ignition switch because, yeah, it was a little bit extra, but it'll be nice to have the ability to turn it on with the key. So first thing I'm going to do right now is dive into the engine, maybe get it running on more than like 3 cylinders. I decided I wanted to throw a timing light on it, see if we can get it a little better than where it was. That's about 18 degrees. Let's see if it restarts. That's pretty good. I think it'll do what we need it to do. So besides adjusting the timing, I leaned up the carb just a touch. All in all, I think it's going to be pretty good. It's not perfect. I could get one of these other guys to come in here and work their magic. It'd probably be great. And that's without rebuilding the carb. That's without replacing all the spark plugs, wires, distributor cap. This just as it sat for years. Funny enough, on one of my posts, a gentleman said that this was his car. He gave me a little bit of evidence to determine whether or not it was his car previously. Sure enough, it was the one that he had 20 some years ago. So hopefully I can meet up with him at some point, kind of reunite him with this car, and well, he could talk about what he did and how he saved it, and maybe explain a few things. We don't know if it shifts. You know me and transmissions.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call foreshadowing.
Well, I still got to put in an ignition switch, but I say we got to test it because we have to test it. So I guess let's just take her down the road and see what happens. Shifted. It smells a lot like mouse house in here, but it's doing it. It's driving down the road. Let's see how far I can get with it. Might as well try to fill up the fuel tank. Well, along the way, it was kind of not wanting to shift very well, so I don't know if the vacuum line or the modulator on the transmission. Well, let's just assume it's not the transmission itself. So I will pick one up just in case I need it. Well, would you believe it? They didn't have a modulator valve. So I guess the next thing to do is maybe get some fuel and maybe wash this thing. That's really all I got left other than trying to figure out why the transmission doesn't shift right. Well, I made it to the car wash. It's not perfect. I need to do some more work to it. But it made it here. So let's do that, get some fuel and head back and keep tuning. Well, that's the best I can do for now. Let's get it to the gas station, top it off, and let's get it back to Pole Barn Garage. Made it to the gas station. Transmission still not 100%. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with it, but we're gonna figure it out. Get some fuel, get back to Dalton's place, and we'll do some tuning, figure it out. All right, I'm gonna have to play with the carburetor a little more. Having it sitting idling, it does okay, but then on the road, it wants to try to die. So I think I've got the idle adjusted a little too low. Transmission's holding right now, seems to be strong. We'll find out if that's gonna last. Pedometer works. Well, we made it, but I'm pretty sure that transmission modulator valve is bad or we're out of fluid. I don't know. We put a gallon in. We'll test that, but I might be crawling under there and I might be driving like an hour away to get parts because they didn't have the parts here. While I'm waiting on the car to cool down to crawl under there to deal with the transmission, went ahead and changed the taillight bulbs and they are working now. I'm going to throw a license plate on it. I just bought the car, so I have an allotted amount of time before I have to go get it registered, and I will get insurance on it today. Well, I crawled under and the modulator valve's actually been replaced at some point. Obviously not recently, but just like the alternator and a few other things, all the parts are brand new. Even if they've sat, they're brand new. So we can't immediately guess that that's what it is. That is the simple solution. So I'm gonna have to check and make sure we are still topped off on our fluids. And vacuum line back to the transmission looks fine. Slightly over full. So I guess we're just gonna have to run it, and if it fails, it fails. And if it doesn't, we're gonna make it. We're gonna do all the things we wanna do with it. And we can always fix it later. But for now, let's just keep the red stuff in the transmission. We're not gonna touch it. There's plenty of it, probably a little over full, which isn't the reason why it's doing what it's doing, but hopefully it's not a problem down the road. All right, with a lot of grunting and cussing and bleeding, I got the starter switch in, and at this point I just need to clean the car out, because if the transmission goes, it goes. There's nothing we're going to be able to do about it. I don't have another one ready to go. It is what it is. We'll do what we did with Fred, and we'll just limp it as far as we can get it. In the meantime, let's clean this thing out. Oh, by the way, I've kind of tallied up my total here, and I'm just a hair over like $1,600 all in. So it's not bad. It's not the best for what this car is, but that's not bad. Running and driving. I have room, if I had to, for about a $300 transmission if that needed to happen, but probably not going to happen. So, well, new development. Started cleaning out the inside of the car, and the seat mounts broke away. They didn't come unbolted or even rotted through the floor. The actual mounts themselves rotted. So that's fun. But also, I no longer have a transmission. We're going to unhook a line just to prove what we think is happening, and that is it's not pumping. So it'll give you that initial whatever gear you put it in just for a minute, and then it's gone. Well, it's pumping. We can't get it to start. We got intermittent start. But I also see that my starter wire got up against the exhaust. Got movement. No drive. Oh, there's drive. Kind of. Yeah. I think the transmission is giving up. It works right at the beginning and then it doesn't work. It was pumping fluid, and
mess
it
with it a
coated
little
my
bit.
whole face with it. What's that?
Let's mess with it a little bit more and see.
Yeah, I'm not ready to totally give up. But as you know, I'm just a hair over $1,600 into this. I did just look at Marketplace, and there is a TH350 short tail, which is what this has, for $200. So if we can find a transmission, we've got about 16 hours to knock it out and get it going. We're going to try to make this one work, but if we can't, we're putting in a new transmission tonight. Okay, here we are. Now it begins. We got what? How many? 16 hours and 1 minute left. So here we go. Don't look. Stop looking.
Wait, I can't look away. It's like a train wreck.
Wow.
At the rare opportunity to get a really good look underneath this thing, and it's not great, but we're just going to skim it real quick and then get to work. There's our engine transmission combo. There's our lack of floors. Oh, there's more lack of floor. And more lack of floor. But you can see how these were kind of made the same as the station wagon, right? This is your rear floorboard. And yep, lack of floor. And now we're into lack of frame. There's a whole lot of no frame. Hey, that's why my engine sounds so good. No muffler, but this one works. All right, well, time to get to work. I got a stuck bolt, and rather than sit here and work on it for the next hour, we're just going to speedily get it out of here. Well, Angus just stole my drive shaft, so I got to keep him from selling it. In the meantime, we have discovered that not only is the transmission fluid burnt, but it was also over full. But you guys saw that because you saw me do the gallon trick. And there it is.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's not let you do that.
There we go. And there we go. Oh yeah, that last bit was black as night. Well, you can see it right there. Yeah. Awesome. And that is really stuck. Perfect. All right. Out you go. I've moved on to the torque converter bolts here. I put the pan back on just so we don't lose those parts later. And it'll kind of save us getting covered any more than we are with transmission fluid. Let's get these done, and then we can pull the bell housing bolts and drop this thing out. This is so much better than a flat blade screwdriver. All right, moving on to bell housing bolts. This would be especially fun on the lift because I have no idea how many get to the top ones. They suck no matter what. The key here is to have all the extensions and little bending angles and such. It just creeps right up against that firewall, right onto that bolt. Comes right out. All right, we did have to take a little break to get a little bite to eat. It's just been one of those days. So now we got all the bolts out, top and bottom. We're going up. All right, so all the bolts are out of that. All the bolts are out of this. Let's take the hard lines off and the shifter off. All right, we got everything unhooked. Now we just need to find a couple able-bodied folks to help us push up and back, and it will come right out. We don't have a fancy transmission jack or a lift jack. Yeah, once we get this thing shoved backwards and out, then we can go get the other one, kind of check it over, do nothing else, and just throw it back in. And we'll be done. With enough helpers, we're going to actually yank this thing out backwards and try not to drop it on ourselves. Right? Oh, Lord. There you go. There you go. Oh, and nothing. Nothing is holding it.
Slide it back far enough we can get it out.
Somebody put dual exhaust in the way.
That should be enough.
Yeah.
Get it out. You hold the front, hold the back.
Well, I don't know if I got the whole thing. Oh, because I'm holding the torque converter. Are you sure we got all the bolts? It's kind of heavy.
Yeah, well, all right, it's getting ready to come. So
Oh, okay.
you got.
Here it comes. Do I have it? No.
I hope so. I'm gonna lose my toes. Come on, now we're on. All right.
All right.
Oh, the
Shift.
oh shit.
What's connected?
Oh, the TV cable.
Oh, damn
no.
it.
All right.
We forgot that.
Oh boy. We're in a pickle.
What do you guys think?
Unfortunately,
It's off the car, but
it's
not
off-
off the bracket.
yeah. Yes. Right.
What is this?
I don't know what that is.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, you're gonna get a little slopper.
All right. I don't know if we really like it sloppy, but
All right.
always got the camera rolling.
Yeah, get off the car, but we can pick it up the bracket.
Ready?
Yeah. Got it. All right.
Well, that was heavy.
That was a debacle.
Now you just have to reverse that.
Can we do it without that?
It makes it look the best. There we go. There you go, boy. Oh,
Okay.
that fluid's pretty red.
It is. It's not brown.
No.
It's shorter.
I don't think so.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm seeing this. All right. Whew. Dear Lord. Never mind. It's fine. Update. So, we did get everything moved over from the old transmission to the new transmission, except for the torque converter, and a keen eye noticed this little thing right here that's not on that one. Do you know what this is? Because we do. That is a torque converter lockup. So our torque converter, this transmission did not come with the torque converter. That one, of course, had the torque converter in it from when we pulled it out of the car. It drops right in. However, notice this. See that input? See that one? All right, look at that one again. See the difference? Yeah, so that's a problem. That means this will go in, however, it will not work. It'll deadhead and immediately destroy this transmission. So now what do we do?
You got a spare.
I do have a spare. So Zane over here, I got a car from him a while back, and while it does skirt the rules just slightly to use something I already have, I did pay for it. And if we just deduct for the transmission, we might still be able to squeak this out at under $2,000. But we got to get that transmission out now.
Yeah.
So I think we have a plan.
Sawzall.
I know it's hard to see. And yes, there is a transmission on there, but it's missing the parts we need. But this is a 1980-ish, 81 Pontiac Grand Prix. This was going to be another video. However, it's missing a lot of stuff.
You need that window gun? Both windows got to go away.
Pew! We have now wrapped this chain around the top of this car. We're going to rapidly extricate.
Should you like do anything under the hood first?
Well, we learned that you actually have to unhook some stuff. Is that a Montgomery Ward?
It is.
Yeah, nice.
It is.
Get yourself a Montgomery Ward knife. That little more. There you go.
Yep, you got to get yourself one of these or you can't work on curves.
Thanks, Jesse. Yeah. Oh yeah, keep going.
Keep her going.
And we're there. And the hood is open for our safety. Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Let's just do that. All right, where's my wrench?
Yeah, it's going, bud.
It's
Perfect. Well, just fell out the other way.
going well.
Tip it back
Use your
over. It's going to be later.
Flashlight.
Did it work? Barely. Oh, God. That could have been.
It did, in fact, move down. Perfect. Almost. Better. Better. Oh, perfect. Yes. Now I can access.
There you go.
Well, don't ruin that torque converter. We need that.
It's fine. Look at it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, put that in. I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Everybody clear?
Yep.
All clear?
I mean, it was just burned up. It wasn't like full chunks.
I can't believe it's not RTV. That's culture. It's clear.
That is.
It's silly though. They couldn't even afford an RTV. Obviously, right? That's fine. Well, it's okay.
I bought all-wheel drive for a reason.
News to me.
I believe this is good.
Alright, you guys go forward to the torque converter.
Torque converter fell out.
God damn it.
Here it is. All right.
That's it. Yep.
You guys move forward. I can take the ass. Give me all the way. Nice scrap.
A little more, a little more. There we go.
Readjust.
Yep.
I think we're on the downs.
We're close,
I got a big pit.
but it's crooked.
Okay, I got a big.
Find something?
Body filler.
Yeah.
Not a lot of it, just a skin coat. It's like they tried to smooth out the edge of the frame.
Yeah, you know.
I don't think they were actually filling a rust hole, just causing one.
We were restoring this.
Just causing one. It was probably just overspray from their Bondo.
Like this one. That's a problem. There's one. That's a problem.
What about all these problems?
Oh, these problems? No problem.
That little guy? I don't worry about that
Ain't
little
nothing
guy.
wrong with that. Fully
It
boxed
was probably
frame.
just overspray from the Bondo.
You got it.
It's just a Bondo.
Well, just like that, we're finally ready to drop this thing back down, put some fluid in it, and maybe have a working transmission. We got 8 hours, 59 minutes left, and it's well past midnight. So thank you all for
We
sticking
can
around.
still technically get 8 hours of sleep.
Let's go.
Well, Jesse can.
New development. Yeah. We lost the O-ring off the end of our dipstick tube, and there's no way they're going to have one. Not especially at 1 in the morning.
Pull it up. We're gonna glue it in.
Gentle?
Gentle. This thing is huge.
Gentle?
Do you like the smaller phone?
No.
Just wiggle it a little bit. Good. Okay. So we're going to start with Type F just because when you buy that fancy shift stuff, it's basically what it is.
Also because it's what was here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is nice.
It's temporary.
Oh, is it? You're gonna fix this?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
It's temporary, it's permanent.
Pretty close. Yeah. I think probably ought to drive it.
I agree.
No leaks.
Ain't right.
What's wrong with it?
Like you get on it and it just sits there and stalls out and does nothing, and then it slowly takes off.
Well, it might still be low.
On fluid?
Yeah.
Okay, that would explain the stripe all the way down.
It's not leaking anything.
Oh, I thought I saw a stripe on my way back in. Okay, yeah, it might just be low, but it gets hard into reverse, and when you put it in gear, you definitely feel it go into gear, and then you get on it and it does nothing, and then it goes. So maybe we just top it off and it's fine.
We added a lot of training fluid.
Well, it's destroyed.
Oh no,
Arguably worse. It sucks.
that really does suck.
Oh yeah, it's barely good. Died, huh?
Torque converter. Got smoked.
Same thing between the two.
And we use the same torque converter.
It fit.
Uh-huh. I mean, the other option is we'd use the other torque converter, which could have been, we didn't know.
The way it was all chewed up on the
I know.
input, that's what...
Yeah. We went with what we had. But that's all I can think of.
It is common between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Same exact thing.
It does exactly what it did before.
Probably is.
Yep.
Or it's two bad transmissions.
It absolutely could
Yes.
be.
It's very likely as well.
Yeah.
That'd be very unlikely.
Either way,
This ain't gonna happen.
no.
Well, I'm disappointed, to say the least, but not in my group of friends. These guys hung in, really gave it their all, and I want to thank every one of them for stepping up, helping me at least make a good faith effort to get this car back to where it should have been. There's something wrong with that first transmission. We did reuse the torque converter. Very much could have been that, or just another bad transmission. But we gave it our all. It's 2 in the morning. We've got like, I don't know, 8 hours left before we're supposed to leave. And I can't be prouder of my friends. These guys work their tails off to jump in and help me. And I can't be anything but humbled by that. So thank you guys, all of you. Truly appreciate you. We're not giving up yet. I can go find another transmission, but I won't be able to make it in time for the challenges. Even if I have everything exactly right, pulling one out, putting one in, I can't. I gotta get washed and I gotta go to bed. So we're gonna come back tomorrow with a new plan, and we're gonna find a backup. And I don't know, maybe this will work tomorrow. All right, good night. See you in the morning. Well, good morning. I've had about 4 hours sleep, but today marks the travel day in the competition. So we have to get our piles of $2,000 car all the way down, well, to wherever Dalton has in store for us. And unfortunately, after last night, staying up until, well, like 2, 3 in the morning, this thing barely motivates. So you know me, I am not one to throw in the towel and just call it. But I have to have something. All right, I just got word from the man himself that the car I am now punished to drive is another El Camino. That's right, I have been punished to take the El Camino that Dalton and Puddin and I put together in Oklahoma and drove all the way home. I've driven it multiple times, you've seen on my channel. It has a big block 454, TH400. We put in a seat and that was it. There is no gauges, there's no dash, there's no heat, there's no AC, no wipers, nothing. It is by all accounts a car, but it has been sitting for a bit. It's got one tire over here that is flat. I honestly assume it's gonna start, but the car's super reliable. I think it'll be a good contender in this. And in fact, this was a $400 car that we threw together in about 4 days at Puddin's. So it should do what it needs to do. It's within the $2,000 realm. It is a backup courtesy versus, you know, the one I got. But it's to stay in the game at this point. We knew this might happen, that somebody might break down. Courtesy car is being deployed. And forward. There we go. Reach in there and throw that on. I'll just be the hood holder there. Perfect. All the finest amenities. Come on, baby. You know you want to go. Yep, that was it.
This takes a while.
I mean, I really hate this car, but I don't. Courtesy car has been sitting for a minute, so I'm gonna go ahead and check all the fluids, make sure everything's topped off. Then we need to fill it with gas because we don't know how much fuel is left in it. Probably not a lot because I think I was the last one to drive it. So we'll do all that, get all of our gear thrown in it, and we're off to who knows where. All right, car's topped off. Everybody's got their stuff. They're getting loaded up. And by the way, I'm going to introduce you to somebody new. This is my friend Julia. and she's going to be joining us today on this epic adventure to somewhere. We don't even know where we're going. We just got to follow them. So off we go. And just like that, we're off. I'll try this again. And just like that, we're off. That's what I thought.
There we go.
I'm coasting right to where you are.
That's
I'll move out of the way.
Yeah, we were going to do a drive-by. This is the second engine. He should have left the first engine in. The El Camino's fine.
That's the second El Camino buff, let's be fair.
Touché, sir.
Why would you say that?
So 50 miles an hour will kill a Chevrolet.
I'm gonna do it once.
It'll kill this Chevrolet twice.
Yeah. All right, we've got somebody coming to pick up Jesse's car. I mean, it's sad. He worked so hard on it, and he was trying to do the right thing by putting the engine in, even though the other one had the rod knock. I think the rod knock probably would have been fine. The other engine just back up. But here we are, a couple miles from Dalton's place, and we're dead. He just jumped in with Kevin and Angus. We're going to keep motoring on. I think he's going to pick up a car because we're going to go right past Jesse's place and then on to, I guess, southern Missouri, because that's the direction we're going.
Hey, Kevin, why don't you take the lead since Jesse knows where his house is?
First stop along the way, we are only like 10 or 20 miles. I don't know. I wasn't counting, but I went ahead and decided to top off the El Camino. It's been sitting a while and, you know, no fuel gauge. So we're going to do that, get some fluids in us and in the car, and head back on the road. All right, it sounds like we are headed to Jesse's house where he's got a backup car ready to go. Get him swapped into a new car and then back on the road.
Well, I've tripped and I've stumbled and I've found most of my troubles are a result of the decisions that I've made. And they seem to always turn around when I put all my bad habits out. Ain't it funny how it all works out that way? Yeah, it's like running down the road. It ain't easy, Lord. It'll trip you up, leave your man broke down. And at times I lose all control and I go crazy, Lord. You twist me up too tight, knock my butt around. And these shows that just don't pay the bills and fuel ain't cheap running through these hills. And all the times I swore that I'd turn around.
Well, here we are back at Jesse's place. We're going to see what kind of car he wants to take on the trip, and we'll see if he's voted in yay or nay. You guys have been here before. If you followed him in the Fury video, that was a part of that one. We had a good time, got the car home. Oh, and it looks like that's the one he's going to take. All right, Jesse's got his car. We are back on the road, headed south somewhere. See where it takes us.
And at times I lose all control and I go crazy, Lord. You twist me up too tight, knock my butt around. Yeah, it's now running down the road. It ain't easy, Lord. It'll trip you up, leave you bend broken down. And at times I lose
Well, here we are at the Osceola Cheese Factory, right? Osceola Cheese, whatever it is, Ben. This is one of the first stops along the way. Honestly, I think I need to let the car rest because we were like vapor locking or sucking through one of the multiple fuel filters that it has to kind of protect the fuel system from the very, very dirty tank. But we made it. Had to slow down a little bit, but it definitely made it. And everybody else seems to be doing all right too. So let's go get some cheese. Well, things escalated for a moment. Went ahead and pulled the fuel filter. Sorry I didn't get that on camera, but it was mud coming out. Let's see if we can see some of it. Well, you can see. So the old fuel tank is still doing fuel tank things, and the fuel filter is doing its job. That is one extra fuel filter. Then we have another one over here to catch more. It's just clogged up. So it's going to happen again. So we're going to have to pick up more fuel filters along the way. And yeah, I'm ready to go get cleaned up and get some cheese. Well, with cheese acquired, we're now headed off to, well, somewhere else. Don't know exactly, but we're here for the ride.
Scenic outlook of some sort.
Okay.
All right, let's push on the tire for them. Okay. I'll ride in the bed of your truck.
Yeah, right over there where the people are, there's steps that go. Development like that.
Oh yeah, you would stand there and jump off. One historic stop along the route, and we didn't get very far, but we didn't need to. This is what it's all about. Traveling these back roads in old cars with your friends, just having a good time, taking the time to make the stops and just enjoy the scenery and a beautiful day with good company. But now we need to head down the road and get on to the next spot, which who knows where it's going to take us. Stopping off at the O'Reilly's, I'm going to go ahead and grab a whole bunch of fuel filters just because I'm going to need them. But also these guys probably need some fluids and such. So, yeah, off to the, normal place we always stop, the parts store. Yeah. Well, I just bought out pretty much every 3/8 and 5/16 fuel filter they had, not only to replenish the one that I borrowed from Kevin, but also just because we're going to need them. Dalton, however, has a little development with his. So the old upper radiator hose is about to have puppies. And power steering belt squeaking. But otherwise, pretty good. The Fury is doing just, well, as it ever did. And the square body's being a square body. Well, here we are. We made it to Carthage, Missouri, right along Route 66 at the world famous Boots Court. It's pretty cool because they have little garages for your cars to park as well for you to sleep at night. Just another piece of iconic history along Route 66 on the 100th anniversary. So this is where we're gonna lay our heads for the night. So we're gonna get ourselves checked in, get a little bit of bite to eat, and on to more of the challenge tomorrow in my backup El Camino. Hey Jesse, I found your bicycle.
Oh, a t-shirt that shows green pin.
Oh, funny. How cool is that? Thank you.
Well, so apparently Clark Gable stayed in our room in 1947.
1947.
They've got the record. It's not just a myth. It's actual proof in there. They've got a whole t-shirt to it. We might have to get one of those, but so that's cool. So now I got to find the room and unload for the night because storms are coming. Ooh. Very cool.
Very cool.
Okay.
Once again, we find ourselves in a motel with tornado sirens.
Okay, so here we are in Carthage, Missouri right now. Tornado sirens actively going off. We did just get the wording on our phone. There is an active tornado warning right here where we're at right now. And I think we're fine. We're probably fine.
You think that a tornado can take this out?
No, we're
No,
good.
Absolutely not.
So we're gonna take shelter. So our motel does in fact have a basement.
And I'm gonna go grab some chairs for all the residents.
Am I stupid? A little bit. But I do this because I not only love to be out here because I'm a Midwesterner, but I'm the only idiot stupid enough to be out here in the storm. I take it back. These idiots are also out here. So that's how you know your people.
And chasers with tip 2.
So it's official. We actually have a hail on the ground. This is tornado warning number 2.
JD, I need you to use all of your outbreak storm chaser simulation.
All right, that's the 4th time for the sirens going off. Now, most everybody is in the shelter right now underneath this motel, but bringing this to you live.
I'm not in the shelter.
No, we're men. We're also stupid.
As it turns out, we survived the night of tornadic storms and then got ourselves all packed up and headed to Mocan Dragway on the border of Kansas and Missouri for a little bit of drag racing competition between the $2,000 cars.
Well, we've stripped these cars down, got them lean and mean. We shouldn't have anything in the back when we go down the racetrack.
Well, is that a big block?
Well, the verdict's in. 16 to your what? 18? Yeah, well, I like good even numbers. All right.
Yeah.
And I gotta have that one. All right, Jesse is choosing to not risk his beautiful Fury because he's got to take it on poverty tour. So, it's time for the Elko to go to work.
Told you the paint spot they started.
Come up. Well, the burnout for distance wasn't quite what I was looking for, but I kind of expected it. We got a Lincoln locker rear end. The car loves to spin, but obviously it's starting to hook up, and that's when things break. So I'll just concede this one to Dalton and Kevin. They both did a great job laying that rubber down on the asphalt. One wheel peels, but still spectacular. And it has been an amazing day here at Mocan Dragway. And now we got to head back to Kansas City to conclude this event, tally up the points, and see who wins.
Driving through the night trying to keep my eyes open. The generator's busted and the AC's broken. I'm talking to the Lord, hope he helps us get there safe. And we made it to the show, now we're singing to the crowd. We're playing encore and they're screaming real loud. Try to get home early, but I know that ain't the case. Yeah, it's another hotel room, sleeping on the floor. I'm hurting in the morning from the night before. Pay my dues, I'm eating up the road. I'm coming home, baby, leave the porch light on.
And we're back. We actually made it back to Pole Barn Garage, and I saw that they'd stopped somewhere to eat, and honestly, we stopped at the same place, put it in the GPS. They weren't there. I don't know where they went. Whatever, we beat them back. So here we are, Pole Barn Garage, and now we just got to tally up the points and see who won the competition.
Challenge. I think we're gonna have to tally.
Yeah, I think it's going to stay right there. I think that's a good spot for it.
I was going to hit that. Okay.
Great success.
Great success.
Look at us go.
Well, that wraps up this episode of Buff's Garage. To see the tally, you're going to have to go check out Pole Barn Garage because he tallied up the points to see who won. And quite frankly, I won just by showing up. I had a lot of fun. Now, the 66 El Camino is not left for dead. I'm going to come back to it and we're going to have a plan. We're going to definitely figure out what we need to do to get it running, driving, and maybe even do some body work in the future. So stay tuned for that one. I want to thank everybody who jumped in to help out. Dalton, Jesse, Kevin and Angus. Of course, Julia jumped in to help along the way. And all of you guys giving me thoughts, concerns, and advice. Oh, and Zane for bringing me the backup transmission car. So thanks for that. And if you guys like it, make sure to drop a comment below and you'll see more of this 66 Chevrolet El Camino doing running, driving car things again. Thanks for watching Buff's Garage. We'll see you next time.